Whoops. And with that, welcome to episode 6.
6?
Yeah.
Holy crap.
Yeah.
Episode 6.
What are we doing today, Craig?
We doing EVH, father versus son.
Look at that.
We got Eddie versus Wolfie here. Nah, we would never pit them against each other. But, man, talk about a work of art right here, huh? What is this guitar? If you talked about... So let's go back to the last episode. I think it was the last episode. You talked about how visually guitars speak to you. There's not a guitar in the world that speaks to me when I look at this more than this guitar.
Agreed.
Like, I could literally, if I look at this long enough, I might cry.
Yeah.
You know?
And it's the coolest one to me. I mean, of all the Eddie striped guitars, there's the black and yellow, there's the red, black, and white. This one wins for me, hands down, always. In fact, when I was a kid, my very first electric guitar was a white Strat type Ibanez Roadstar.
Sure.
And what did I do? I taped it up to look just like
tape.
Yeah. As soon as I got the first VH album, I taped it up. I was like, oh, this is so cool. I wish I still had that guitar, but I don't. But today, we're going to talk about the Stripe series, and we're going to talk about the Wolfgang. And this is a Wolfgang Special, right? And there's 3 levels of Wolfgangs, right? There's a standard, which is sort of the entry level.
Yep.
There's the Special, which is this guy sort of right in the middle of the price range, and then there's the USA models, which are sort of the top end.
Sure.
And
this is the Stripe series. So, in talking about this, I mean, when you think about the actual features and the guitar itself, they're very similar in their basswood bodies, their maple necks, jumbo frets. We have the compound neck radius, 12 to 16. Just to explain, compound neck radius, for those who don't know, some neck radiuses are the same throughout. The 12 to 16s, they start at the 12 and they work their way up to 16. So it's a rounder radius down low, and as you get higher, it gets flatter.
Right.
So it's rounder, better for chords, I guess, open chord stuff, flatter for the lead stuff. So that's kind of cool. And both guitars have the same style neck. They both have the D tuner with the Floyd. They both have the Wolfgang EVH pickups. Well, you have 2. I have 1 here. But yeah. Tone knob instead of the volume, even though it is a volume.
Right, because Eddie had
classic Eddie right there.
Yeah.
For sure. So, yeah, they're similar instruments. They look completely different, but I think when you get down to the nitty-gritty, they're probably pretty similar in sound and everything else.
So I know EVH recently, right, they released like the 78, whatever they called it, right, the total replica of the original, right?
$25,000 or something crazy.
Right,
yeah.
and I think he had a couple of different necks on the original. I wonder what this one is modeled after. This neck.
Yeah, I don't know. And it's funny because I know years ago when he was with Music Man, they had molded one of those necks. Like they actually custom molded it to have
maybe
the
it was the
divots
actual
and everything.
Frankenstein
Yeah, so
one.
I don't think this is molded after any of that because there's none of those divots. You don't feel a divot back here or anything. It's very smooth. So I think it's just what he's into now. Right. I don't know. I'd be curious because I haven't tried that one yet to see if these necks are similar. And I haven't tried that one. Yeah, so it would be cool to find out. But, another thing about this guitar, the original one, for those of you that don't know this, a cool little tidbit, and maybe you all know it, and you're going to say, everybody knows that.
Craig, before you get into that, come on. Coffee, guys.
I'll drink to that.
Coffee.
Yeah, so. Anyway, so, the original guitar, the one that's on the album cover of Van Halen 1, is actually the Frankenstrat guitar.
Yes.
So what ended up happening was he, I guess, cut up the pick guard, so it's cut off. Put some tape over it, overlay, and then painted it red, and that's what became the Frankenstrat. So this guitar, in its white and black, ceases to exist. Right. I think it's now red, and I think that's the one that's at the Smithsonian.
Okay.
The original Frankenstrat, I think, is the one that they've put into the Smithsonian.
Oh, really? Yeah. The original, right? Because I know the replicas of those, about 10, 12 years ago or something like that?
Yep. So, yeah, this thing is just, for me, it's just, man, this is what got me going.
Yeah, and thousands of other...
Think about the album cover. So Eddie's like this, right? He's got that look on the album cover. And what is he saying there? To me, he was saying,
I win.
Come inside and listen to what you're going to hear.
Right.
Because you see this is a guitar, you've never heard it like what's on the inside of this album.
It's funny that you say that, because to me, I had the same impression as a kid, and the visual aesthetic of this guitar very much, it looks like the way that guitar sounds.
Yeah, totally.
Right? Or the way that album sounds.
Yep, yeah, 100%. And, that's great. That's so cool.
Yeah, it is cool.
And
It
it's
is
just
cool.
it's just such a cool guitar.
I wonder what the inspiration behind taping it up was in the first place. You know, when I had read recent interviews with him where he said he, wished he didn't, color it with the red and black and all that stuff. That he left it like this, still like that, which would have been totally cool.
And I still love the Frankenstrat, the red one. I think that's equally as cool.
Right.
Just because that became the iconic Eddie Van Halen, old school David Lee Roth era guitar.
Right.
But this one is just the original. It's like the first one you saw from him.
Yeah.
So there's something special about it. And I can see where he's coming from, but I'm just as cool with the fact that he put red all over it.
Yeah, and listen, I'm a VH fan too, and I like all the albums, but the playing on that first VH album is still, to me, is untouchable. It's the best VH playing, in my opinion. It's the sound too, but it's the whole thing. It's the ferocity in the playing. For me, that pulled me in.
And that's that look he has on his face on the album cover. It all goes hand in hand with that. And I think Fair Warning was another one that just...
They're all great.
Yeah, they're great. But to me, I always think, what are my favorite Halen albums? There's always Van Halen 1 and Fair Warning. I always go back and forth between those two. But, yeah, cool. So, now this one...
So before we talk about this one, so what is your... from a playability perspective, what's your first impression of this neck and this guitar?
I kind of dig it. It's not overly chunky. I would have thought it would be. It's not. It feels pretty good. I like the jumbo frets. I like the sound of it. It definitely it's reactive. You do a pinch harmonic. You expect that from Eddie. He's probably wires these up so that harmonics are flying off it because that's his style. So it feels really comfortable.
You know what I've wondered, because EVH also has the Frankenstein humbucker, but incidentally, it's not on the Stripe Series guitars.
Is that right? I didn't even know you had one. Okay.
Yeah, there's a Frankenstein humbucker, which is supposed to be a replica of the original humbucker.
Get out of
here,
really?
You could buy it.
Yeah.
But these pickups are the Wolfgang. Now, I would expect them in the Wolfgang models.
Sure.
But on the Stripe Series, it would have been cool if they would have put that in.
That would have been nice.
Maybe it was a price point thing, because I think it's a little bit more of an expensive pickup. To keep the price reasonable. And these are priced awesome too. I mean, they're under $1,000.
They're under $1,000.
Yeah, it's just
and you can get them in all the different varieties. The black and gold, which I think is so cool too.
Yeah,
I love that one. That one. Another story behind that is the original is buried with Dimebag Darrell.
Yeah.
So so that
another
one,
monster guitar player.
Oh, unbelievable! Yeah. He's like the for me the Eddie of that world of really heavy stuff.
Absolutely.
You could tell how inspired he was.
Oh yeah, him and his brother and
totally
phenomenal.
Yep. So you can get this one comes with the black and yellow. It also comes with the one with the circles from the Unchained video.
Circles, right? Yeah. They did the star, right? And they just recently did the Destroyer, right? The chainsaw.
Yep. Shark, they called
the Shark.
Yeah,
the Shark.
Yeah. And another story, the one with the circles became the Rasta guitar.
Yes.
That Dweezil Zappa now owns.
Yes.
Yeah,
yes.
So,
it'd be cool if they reissue that paint job too.
That's a funky
a lot of cool stuff.
Yeah.
A lot of cool stuff. So this one, this is a Wolfgang Special, right? So as we said, this is kind of like the middle of the road one. This has two humbuckers, right? So they're both Wolfgang humbuckers. I think, and I'm not sure, we probably should have researched this, right? But on the USA models, is the toggle switch reversed?
I think you are right on that.
On the USA models, but on these models, the standard and the specials, they're less polished, meaning in the down position you're in the bridge, and in the up position you're in the neck.
It's funny you mentioned Les Paul, because this always sort of reminded me of one. Mm-hmm. There's definitely similarities with that, and this is to me like modern refined Eddie, right? This was like raw.
I'll be honest with you though. To me, it's totally different than this guitar to me.
Definitely.
I mean, not just visually, but just it seems like a different animal, completely. Which I guess is testimony to his evolution as a guitar player.
Well, that's what I was saying. It's the refined Eddie, right?
Refinement,
this is the raw. I'm going to tear your face off, Eddie Van Halen, and that's the matured, a little more clean cut Eddie Van Halen.
I don't need to tear your face.
Yeah,
off
I've proven it.
I've proven
now.
it.
I'm
8
gonna.
times.
Yeah, exactly. But it's funny you say that, because that's my thought when I looked at these for the first time.
And in all his early guitars, including the 5150 model, because the one modeled after that, the 84 Tour guitar, right? They all had just a volume knob.
5150,
right?
Yeah.
Right. They all had just one volume knob. These guitars actually have a volume and a tone, which we spoke about how the tones are kind of irrelevant to us. These knobs are also like I don't know what they call them, speed knobs.
Mm-hmm.
They're quick.
Yep.
The tone knob is not.
Yep.
It's
exactly.
actually
feel it as a little resistance.
Very
on
stiff.
It. Yep.
Volume knob is quick. It has the EVH branded Floyd Rose. which is kind of cool. The D-tuner, and similarly to some other guitars we reviewed, it has the truss rod adjustment.
Yep, this one does too.
Yep, which is kind of cool.
Love that feature.
So let's hear this one.
Yeah, check it out.
We'll kind of compare them at ABM. So let's shut that off. So let's just do like a comparison like we've done in the past, right? So how about
What we on?
D?
Yeah.
Oops. That's brighter to me.
Yeah, 100%.
It's cool. Let's switch them.
Yeah, let's switch them up. Let's see what we got going on here. All right. Feels completely different.
Oh my god. Yeah.
In my hand. I mean, just the body itself just feels different.
Can't play today, Craig.
I'm shocked at how different the guitars feel. Right? It's so bizarre because I get what you're saying. It's like when you play that for a few minutes and then you switch them up, it just feels very, very different. I wouldn't expect that.
Even the scale length seems different. That seems like a shorter scale length. Maybe it's just visual because it's a smaller headstock to me.
Yeah, no, it's definitely. I feel like I'm in tight.
Right,
like everything feels tighter, even though it's not. Yeah, wow. This is. I gotta say,
what's the verdict?
Hands down, that one wins.
This one wins, right?
100%.
Yeah, this one wins for me too.
Yeah,
you know, it's got the cool.
It's
got
feels
the
cooler.
neck. It's got the neck. Yeah.
This doesn't like.
Although I will say, I mean, this is a fine instrument. I think for the price point too, it's a really good guitar.
You get a bang for your buck for sure.
Right.
I mean,
and
you could everything here.
Right, and you could get comfortable with that.
Yeah.
I would say pretty easily. But there's something about this, and maybe it's just the body shape or the.
It feels good.
Yeah.
It's like it just conforms to you, right? It just feels like it sits in your life. Nice. I'm going with that one 100%.
Me too.
All right, guys.
But both nice guitars.
Yeah.
Right? Both solid.
Yeah. Like you said, you can get used to this thing, I'm sure. But just first impression, to me, it's a no contest.
Awesome.
But I'm old school when it comes to Van Halen anyway.
I am too.
Guys, listen up. Subscribe. Please subscribe to our channel. We have cool episodes coming. The next one, we're going to do some Charvels. We're going to do a couple of Artist Series Charvels. So stay tuned and subscribe. We'll catch you next time.
Take care. See ya.
All right.